Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having an incredible day to start things off. According to the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, the country is on track for more financial trouble. Mnuchin warned House Speaker Nancy Pelosi that the clock is ticking and that the government may run out of cash to pay its bills in early September if Congress doesn't take action and lift the debt ceiling. I'll repeat that once again. The United States government is going to run out of cash in September. In a letter to Pelosi on Friday, the Treasury Secretary wrote, and I do quote, "Based on updated projections, there's a scenario in which we run out of cash in early September before Congress reconvenes. As such, I request that Congress increase the debt ceiling before Congress leaves for summer recess." Amazing. According to the congressional calendar, the House is set to break in 2 weeks, with the Senate following 1 week later. First of all, that's crazy. The fact that there is a letter that was written in general when I feel like news like this should definitely be making more headlines than it actually is. Maybe it happens so often that maybe people are just used to countries running out of money or potentially running out of money. And even the idea that I've been watching a lot of things, and I don't know if other people have been watching either. If you're not really into finance, you really should be, especially if you're into the cryptocurrency space. Try and pay more attention to the stuff that's happening in the financial world. The world economically is not doing great. It does not look like it's going to get better anytime soon. And there are a number of countries who are proposing the printing or creation of more physical fiat paper money in order to be able to mitigate or ease the risks and things that are happening right now in the traditional financial world. What happens when you print more money is that you devalue the money. When you devalue the money, it becomes more worthless. You may get other people who are more willing to then invest in your country because your currency is devalued and therefore it's more attractive to foreign investors. However, you make it a lot more difficult for other people because you raise the rate of inflation. And as of right now, it does not look like the debt anything is going to go down anytime soon. It's really weird and fascinating, once again, that all of this is happening at the exact same time that Bitcoin is becoming more of a household name. Meanwhile, in an appearance on CNBC's Squawk Box, terrible name, Morgan Creek Digital CEO Anthony Pompliano told host Joe Kernan that Bitcoin is too big to fail, responding to a tweet by Tyler Winklevoss stating that he and other crypto investors have elected to put money and faith in a mathematical framework that is free of politics and human error. Pomp highlighted Bitcoin's decentralized nature and censorship-resistant features and why governments can't take it down. A lot of people, and I've seen before, not as much now as it was many moons ago, a lot of people were asking me why governments couldn't simply take Bitcoin down. I've seen people, and I like I said, I assume that they're very new to the space, why they couldn't unplug Bitcoin, why governments simply couldn't buy up all the Bitcoin and then destroy it, or why it was. I've seen a lot of things. It's not that easy. You need to control an enormous amount of computing power to be able to think that you have a chance of trying to control the part of the network, and even then, it doesn't really work as well or as easy as other people think. Like, once you have 51% control of something, you are then still not the overlord of the entire network. The point is, we're seeing a lot of backlash against cryptocurrencies, and people were asking me yesterday why I did not mention something in my video about an event that took place yesterday. And it's because, for those who don't know, this is not a political channel. I talk about economic policies or ways to make money or things that are happening within the cryptocurrency space, and I tend to, politicians say stuff all the time about cryptocurrencies. However, about 38 bajillion people were asking me yesterday. I was looking around as well, and it was the only news that was circulating around in the cryptocurrency space. For those who do not know or are unaware, the U.S. President of the United States ripped Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at large on Thursday, saying he's not a fan of the emerging technology. For those who did not know, here is the tweet. He said, "I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money, and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade, another illegal activity. When I first saw this, I thought it was a joke. Not even slightly joking. We've all seen the fake or falsified tweets from celebrities before, and I was like, there's no way that the president of the US is going to even think about mentioning Bitcoin. Too many other things happening at the moment. Lo and behold, it was actually real. Within about a good 15 minutes of my friend sending this to me, everyone was sending me the same exact thing and talking about that he actually did say this. Part of the reason why I felt personally that it was unnecessary to talk about it is the fact that it was mentioned that it's used in drug trade and other illegal activity. This was something that we heard a lot in 2012, 2013, 2014. We know that the US dollar is the largest used item for illegal activity around the entirety of the world, not even just the US, the entire world. It's the US dollar. And as far as the drug trade, it's also the US dollar. So I understand that politicians don't always understand Bitcoin, but a lot of times I don't feel that it's explicitly necessary to talk negatively about someone or something because they don't understand Bitcoin, if that kind of makes a lot of sense. Continuing on with that, he said, similarly, Facebook's Libra virtual currency will have little standing or dependability. If Facebook and other companies want to become a bank, they must seek a new banking charter and become subject to all banking regulations, just like other banks, both national and international. He said, we have only one real currency in the US. It is stronger than ever, both dependable and reliable. It is by far the most dominant currency anywhere in the world, and it will always stay that way. It is called the United States dollar. I have my own reservations. I'm going to put it this way. I wholeheartedly disagree that the US dollar is going to be around for a long time. I think we are seeing the beginning of the US dollar being on its way out. If you have been in the cryptocurrency space for more than a year, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. It is very evident that many fiat-based currencies are not going to do very well in the future. Even the fact that Facebook was mentioned, or Facebook's Libra, or Facebook's virtual currency was also mentioned in this, is because, in my opinion, in the opinion of other people within the cryptocurrency space, or even just other economists in general, Facebook's new currency is going to be perceived, or rather is already perceived, as a major threat because they're going to become the largest central bank in the entire world. And this is why I assume that this little warning was here. If Facebook and other companies want to become a bank, they must seek a new banking charter. The whole Facebook thing is absolutely insane. I don't think that we would have ever gotten almost said a text. He didn't text us. A tweet from the president of the United States had Facebook's Libra not been a thing. I mean, it kind of is what it is. Like I said, people were completely losing their mind yesterday about this happening. I didn't think it was that important, me, myself, because we've seen other politicians do this before. I don't think that a lot of older politicians or people who are currently in power understand the use cases of cryptocurrencies, or the fact that cryptocurrencies are going to become a dominant force in the economic world, as we've seen with the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ talking about that Bitcoin is going to become a world currency. I think that a lot of the people who are rich in this world are trying to do what they can in their own way to make sure that the status quo remains the same. It doesn't matter which side of the spectrum you're on. If you're rich, you typically want to remain rich. That's kind of the nicest way of saying it. Anyway, yeah, that happened. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but lo and behold, it was. Actually, let me see over here. For those who don't know, a lot of people were a bit worried that Trump saying anything negative about Bitcoin could have a negative effect. However, there are a lot of people within the cryptocurrency space, even myself included on this one, who think that this may actually be one of the greatest. It's pretty much free publicity. Before Bitcoin was in the news, you heard about it sometimes, well, whatever the case might have been. But when you have a world leader talking on his Twitter page, it could have been a blog. He could have written half a letter just writing the name Bitcoin. It's free publicity. And now everyone in the world knows that the US president is not a fan of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, which also then causes people to start Googling What are cryptocurrencies? What are Bitcoin? How do they work? And so on and so forth. The CEO of Binance wrote, and I do quote, he said, "Achievement unlocked. I dreamt about a sitting US president needing to respond to growing cryptocurrency usage years ago." He said, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win." He said, "We just made it to step 3, y'all." I love the y'all there. It's true, though. This was said to me many times years ago when I got into the cryptocurrency space. People thought for a long time that we were in step 3, but there's no greater publicity than a major world leader talking about you. Can you imagine the amount of people who read the word Bitcoin, looked up Bitcoin, tried to find what Bitcoin was, where they could get Bitcoin, why Bitcoin has been going up? The last time I heard about Bitcoin, it was $3,000. Where is it right now? Well, the price has gone up. Maybe I should go get some. I saw it as a positive. It's not every day that we can get a world leader to kind of talk about us in any way. Also tying directly into this as well, the head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors is joining a chorus of crypto influencers and analysts who say Trump's recent tirade against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is a positive for the emerging industry. In a new interview with Yahoo Finance, Tom Lee says the outburst could help push Bitcoin as high as $40,000 by the end of this year. Everything is brewing into a perfect storm of Bitcoin-ness, digital asset, cryptocurrencies. I can't really figure out how to finish that sentence, but it's true. What we needed, or rather what helps, are things like this, are tweets like this. We've seen negativity before in the cryptocurrency space, and it hasn't really had any major bearing. We know that Bitcoin can't be stopped. We know that it won't be stopped, and we've seen from other world leaders as well that they don't care for it, they don't like it, they've tried banning it, and even in countries where they've banned it before, we've seen it flourish in those countries because people end up having harsher economic policies that keep them away from, whether it be economic sovereignty, whatever the actual case might be. It is incredibly unlikely that Bitcoin is going to be banned in the US anytime soon. If anything, they'll be trying to ban Libra from whatever they're trying to do within the United States. But even then, you have to remember that there's a lot of money pushing behind all these things. If Facebook decides to get a banking charter or something, whatever, they'll probably do so. There's no real stopping Facebook from doing this, and this is why we were talking about this yesterday, why they launched in Switzerland and not within the United States, because their doors would have been kicked in days ago, months ago. Immediately after they announced all of this, they would have had major problems, and this is why we're seeing a lot of world leaders talking negatively about it. But even then, Bitcoin grows stronger every day. That's not me blowing hot air or hot smoke or whatever the phrase is. It's true. Every day the network gets stronger, it gets more robust. And by the time that Bitcoin ends up hitting or rather even a $1 trillion market cap, Bitcoin is and will even be more so too big to fail. There will be no way for governments to take it down. And at that point, when we see, or if we do see, that the United States is running out of money, or even when they do raise their debt ceiling, or when they continue printing more money, and when other countries around the world continue printing fiat currencies to the heavens, and their currencies are devalued and hyperinflation sets in, and all these people around the world are having major, tremendous economic policies, it is only going to make Bitcoin stronger, and this is why Bitcoin is probably going to be around even by the time our kids have kids. But for those who don't know, this is the actual, says it on the screen, the US national debt clock. It is currently sitting at 25 trillion US dollars. It is growing by $45,000 per second. The total debt per citizen is 83,000 US dollars, and the debt per taxpayer is $143,000. This money is never, ever, 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 ever going to be paid off, ever. And the fact that they're trying to raise the debt ceiling to accrue even more debt into other countries even more is incredibly fascinating. I wonder exactly how the world is going to work or function when things start to be denominated in Bitcoin or in Satoshis, or like what new, I was going to say new economic policies, but they won't be able to make any against Bitcoin or try to regulate it in some certain way because they won't necessarily be able to unless they try to. No, you won't be able to because people will be able to do it on their phones. I'm trying to think of, I try to think of other scenarios often of exactly what could happen in a world where Bitcoin does take over, or even if Bitcoin becomes a major, first of all, Bitcoin is already the 8th largest world currency. Take out your phones or Google that. Bitcoin is already the 8th largest world currency that we have right now. It is looking like it is going to position itself to become one of the largest, if not the largest, in the entire world. I think the US dollar is currently at the forefront of this. It won't last forever. Everyone is eagerly waiting. Pretty sure I'm not the only one to see if the US economy is going, if the world economy at large is going to start to fall down, and what effect this will have on Bitcoin. But yeah, without further ado, let's move on. Next up, the Department of Commerce is one step closer to a standard definition of blockchain on the federal level, as the U.S. Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation approved the Blockchain Promotion Act on the 10th of July. The bipartisan bill establishes a blockchain working group and is one of many efforts towards devising a clear regulatory framework. The U.S. SEC's lack of clear rules encouraging blockchain innovation continue to ignite people across the crypto industry to press for substantial change. Last June, SEC Chairman Jay Clayton explicitly stated, he said, "We are not going to do any violence to the traditional definition of a security that has worked for a long time. We've been doing this a long time. There's no need to change the definition." Good. And I hope that they never do change the definition, because cryptocurrencies won't be able to. You have to understand that a lot of the cryptocurrencies that we have right now that are permissioned are not going to last. The US, Canada, Europe, all of Africa, all of South America, they're going to do what they can to push as much of the cryptocurrency space down to the ground as much as possible. This is why you may have noticed a lot of the government agencies have not given clear definitions. And even when we do get regulations from around the world, it's typically like a little cup worth of regulations. It's not a full-blown one. And this is why we've also seen other countries around the world not giving explicit regulations, because governments believe that the moment that they do give clear guidelines on what this is, what that is, how that works, that it'll be a bit of a go button for the cryptocurrency space to say, yeah, this is what we needed. This is what we wanted. We are now regulated and validated, and therefore, they expect the crypto prices to go up. So it's been widely believed for a very long time that they refuse to give any type of explicit information on the cryptocurrency space because they don't want to validate it. The problem is that the cryptocurrency space does not need validation. It validates itself. And this is why I keep saying the longer they wait, the stronger Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies become. I am expecting the SEC to either never give crypto regulation or not to do it until sometime next year. And even when they do it, I feel it's going to be a little sprinkle, like a little dab of salt around the space, and nothing will be completely established. So it's nice to see in some sort of way that governments are trying to put things in place to make sure that the cryptocurrency space, or that the crypto space, that growth is being fostered, but they're not doing enough. And regardless of what they do or may not do, the cryptocurrency space does not care. Prices, Bitcoin has gone up by 400% this year alone without regulations is not really a major big thing. And the fact that they are so adamant to not change laws that were created in the 1930s, we didn't have TV. We definitely didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have anything that we have right now. So the fact that they think that laws that are almost 100 years old would apply in any way to digital assets, I want to use the word laughable, and I think I'll keep that in my back pocket, maybe as a word that I may want to use for it. The point is, the US and other countries, don't be fooled, are going to come down very hard on permissioned blockchains. Those are ones that are created as companies. Those are ones that the coins you shouldn't be owning. Keep that always in the back of your head. This is going to come to a head very, very soon. And the only ones that are going to be left unscathed are going to be permissionless blockchains, especially when we start getting more regulation. But let's move on. We heard a bit about this yesterday, but it appears we have more information on it now. Binance has launched margin trading on their platform. What we didn't know is the coins that they had for margin trading. They're going to be Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Binance Coin, Tron, and Tether. Changpeng Zhao said this is another step in providing an inclusive cryptocurrency trading platform catering to the needs of both advanced institutional traders and retail traders under the same roof. We are providing a new tool in the financial services and cryptocurrency markets to help amplify trading results of successful trades. I feel like I like that the top three have been included. It's typically only Bitcoin and Ether. I feel like Litecoin should also be in the mix, but maybe they were trying to do a bit of a soft launch as far as, I don't know. Tron also seems like an odd pick. I've heard stuff behind the scenes that Changpeng Zhao and Mr. Justin Sun are friends, so this is maybe why Tron has been listed. Binance Coin is clearly obvious, and Tether is the stablecoin with the most liquidity. So yeah, these are the 6 coins that are going to be launching on Binance's margin trading, which I believe has already launched. So yeah, we have official news of that, and let's move on. To kind of finish things up, American professional football team known as the Miami Dolphins announced that Litecoin is now the team's official cryptocurrency, according to a press release that happened a couple days ago. The Miami Dolphins and Litecoin have also partnered with Alliant Payments, a crypto merchant services and payment processing firm, to enable crypto payments for the team's upcoming 50-50 raffle, which reportedly donates half of its revenue to charity. Cryptocurrency users will reportedly be able to buy raffle tickets with Litecoin and Bitcoin and can do so online or via in-stadium kiosks at Hard Rock Stadium. And then it's like blah, 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 blah. So, one, that's cool. This is a major partnership. I myself do not watch American football. I do watch football, which is for those of you who understood that. Anyway, cool, great. And I mentioned something before, and about 18 people told me I was a loser and that I was lying in the comment sections. I mentioned before, I said it feels like Litecoin is becoming a sports coin, and people were like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Here's the actual blog post from Litecoin talking about them being the official cryptocurrency of the Miami Dolphins. And I was like, every time that Litecoin gets a new partner, here's someone kicking someone else in the face. They made a partnership with Glory Kickboxing. I think they're also a partner with the UFC, ahead of the UFC. This was last year, so I assume maybe this event has already happened. The point, every new major partnership that Litecoin gets, that's not like a crypto wallet adding them, or I think they just made a partner with Trivala, which allows people to use their Litecoin to book a room in a hotel or something like that. They keep getting sport partnerships. So I am going to assume that a lot of the talks that they've been having behind the scenes is that they've been trying to get mainstream adoption through sports. Nothing wrong with that. Just the fact that it's clear that this is happening. And it would be nice if people stop telling me that I'm lying or that I have no idea what I'm talking about. When I look at cryptocurrency news all day, like, I don't think you get it. Like, this is my life. I'm obsessed with cryptocurrencies, and I deep dive every day, and I read as much as I can about what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. So, don't be shocked if the Litecoin team ends up joining with some type of a like an esports tournament or something like that. I think that would make a bit more sense. I don't know exactly how large the Miami Dolphins are, but I know that the esports gaming world is monstrously tremendous. I'm pretty sure Charlie Lee doesn't listen to my videos. I don't think he listens. Anyway, and the point is, right, Litecoin has a new partnership. It's with the Miami Dolphins. It's kind of cool, and I'm expecting that their next partnership is probably going to be, okay, wait, they have someone, UFC, they have people kicking each other in the face, they have football. I'm going to say the next one's going to be with something with baseball or swimming. Let's see, baseball or swimming. Just a random throwing out of words. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Master Ventures in Thailand, Janae Francis, Triple M and J, My Keto Kitchen, Adobo, Krypton Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Crypto Joe, Mohair Maroney, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Nicholas Renault, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day, Jeremy the Photographer, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, and Mechanic. Thank you all very, very much for your support. At the moment, for those of you who are not looking at the screen, Bitcoin dropped by around 2, almost 3%, rounding up to 3%. And the rest of the market has started moving down as well. Binance coin was up very high yesterday, so this is currently the only coin in the top 10, excluding Tether, that is in the green, but I assume it's going to turn red in a couple of seconds because of the entire margin trading thing. People were very excited to start using the Binance coin for the margin trading, and therefore people were buying up the Binance coin. However, it appears that we are either in a weekend rut, or maybe the market has become quite fatigued, as we have not had any amazingly, it's explicitly, awesomely, fantabulously good news in the last couple of days. I don't think that the US president's announcement or statement that he doesn't care for cryptocurrencies had any major effect on the cryptocurrency space. The prices actually went up by like 4 or 5% yesterday after that tweet had come out. I think it's just weekend fatigue. I think people are just kind of waiting to see exactly what's going to happen on Monday. We are very, very close to the launch of the physical Bitcoin futures from the New York Stock Exchange. I would assume that we should have some type of information by next week. Let's say middle of next week, maybe even Friday. They may wait for a Friday announcement to get the markets more hyped up as we move further into the weekend for their actual launch of the futures. But there we go. It's in the red now. At the moment, Chainlink is up. OKB is up. Egredia is up. VChain Thor is up. V Systems is up. Raven Coin is up. Huobi Token is up. I'm actually surprised that Augur is up. There was I forgot what the news was about Augur. There was something that was supposed to be like a prediction market. Also just went down as well. They were out for 6 months and didn't really make it. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. If you can, make sure to pay attention to the traditional financial news because it's not looking very well right now. And the fact that the U.S. government may be running out of money, I think also should be making headline news and is something that you probably all should be paying attention to. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will definitely talk to you all soon. See you.